Hello everybody, this is Vikari. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about gender dysphoria. I present female through an avatar now. I used to present female in my daily life. It wasn't a constant thing because I worked in the blue collar industries. I worked construction, and it wasn't convenient, of course, and so I didn't present female at work. But I did present female after work many times, and I was lucky enough to be seen as a good person, a good worker, and so I was respected despite me being trans or transgender, at least on the side. Um, so my coworkers and so forth, they all respected me, um, which was great. I didn't have that to worry about. Um, I didn't have to worry about getting beat up or chastised in any way. So that was good when I was going through it. Um, I didn't meet with too much opposition when I was dressing up when I back in the day. I always feel like how you carry yourself is half of who you are. That if you carry yourself with intent, with purpose, with drive, then most people will get you and leave you alone. They won't have a problem with you. But if you have a problem with yourself and you're trying to do something, that's different. Um, uh, it's a perceptionary. I don't know if that's the right word thing, but there you have it. Um, so anyway, back to gender dysphoria. It's it's hell, and it's heaven. It's up, it's down, it's back, it's forth, it's elation, it is misery. Um, because you're in the wrong body, and you have to fix that. But you know it can't happen overnight, so you have to really grin and bear it, and you have to wait. Um, when I was in the middle of my struggle with gender dysphoria, was over and over again. I was in the middle of the struggle up into my 40s. And so that was one way to put it, is that it becomes the struggle again that it wasn't. Um, so you're constantly dealing with trying to affirm yourself and be affirmed and confirmation of your new gender now. You know, you need it of others. You need it of yourself. You need it from anyone and everyone to help you affirm yourself, and that's just not going to happen. It's an impossible thing. Yet you need it, because you're in the wrong body. Have mercy on me, somebody. You know, feels like the way it can be sometimes. Um, But again, I didn't have too much struggle with all that. And this was despite the fact that when I was young, it was not a popular thing. And it was not something that you were congratulated for like it is nowadays. It seems like people pat each other on the back for being transgender rather than, this person is ill. Let's accommodate them, but it doesn't mean we have to believe them. Gender dysphoria is a mental illness, and it should not be celebrated. But at the same time, it should also be respected, and it should be allowed. Um, I believe that firmly, because it is a real struggle, and those who are going through it, they they should be accommodated to a degree. They should, because those who don't know what it's like, um, they have a struggle of their own, you know. And I wouldn't call it a lack of empathy, and I wouldn't call it a lack of consideration. It's not. I don't believe it is. Um, Coming to an agreement, bridging the gap between normal and gender dysphoric, or whatever that might be, the term, I don't know, um, is gonna be a real thing, and I'm gonna try my best to be a part of that bridging. Um, like I said, I no longer present female in my daily life. Um, in fact, I've embraced the male that I am, the man that I was born as, and I had help. What can I say? I've had help from therapists, and I've had help from the Lord above, and we'll get to that eventually. But I've been saved from that struggle to the point where I can I can present this way and be fine, and that's good for me. Um, I'll never not have gender dysphoria, but I live with it comfortably now, and I can present female on various platforms, and I do, and and I don't care about the slight ridicule I'll get. Oh, like, oh yeah, that's a guy. Well, obviously that's a guy. Listen to his voice and so on and so forth. I don't care about that. I shrug it off. Um, so I'm comfortable now, and I thank heaven for that. I thank the Lord for that. Um, I need no attention for it anymore. Um, I did only because of affirmation. That's a big part of it. Um, I tend to think that those who are homosexual might have an easier time with transitioning with gender dysphoria because it's a perceptual thing where, oh well, this person's already feels towards their own gender, so forth and so on. I was always straight myself, um, but those who are homosexual or gay and lesbian might have an easier time transitioning just because it seems to be part of that different kind of attraction, nature, whatever, like that others might affirm them more easily, um, and they themselves affirming themselves more easily. um, I used to wish that I was gay because I thought that would be easier than being trans as far as I was concerned. um, that's just how I felt. I don't know. Up and down battle, the in and out, the back and forth, um, was incredible for me. I wanted to present female all the time, and be happy, and I couldn't. I always had to wake up and I had to shave and redo my makeup and start over. And the starting over was was ridiculous. I could barely bear it anymore. Living two lives, how heavily burdened can you be? You know, so that was that, and it was terrifying, and it was terrible, and it was great, and it was amazing, and I knew a lot of people because of it, and I knew a lot of people who struggled with it, and I knew a lot of people who didn't struggle with it. I knew a lot of people who seemed pretty comfortable, you know, being trans, and I thought, great for them. Wow, at least they don't have the same struggle as I do. You know, their jobs allowed it and such. Being a construction worker, it was just, I don't know. It seemed like there was a struggle that I was always going to see, at least fight it in some way or another. But somehow I think life can accommodate that kind of transformation, for some people at least. I think of Blair White, and I don't know, but I've seen others that seem to, handle it well. That struggle doesn't seem to be a real big part of their life. But again, as long as it's seen through the lens of a mental illness, I think that's going to be the most important part of gender dysphoria. Is so you have to know that you are mentally ill, and you have to accept it, and how to medicate and how to change that for the better, should be the struggle of psychology. It should be the main issue when it comes to things because of how frequent it now is and how often gender dysphoria comes up nowadays. And sometimes I think it's a money racket for the doctors, you know, and and I think a lot of people would say the same, that they're just making a lot of money off it. There's all kinds of procedures involved in transgender transformation, if you will. Um, and so, why wouldn't you want to make the money from that? You know, it's scary. It's sad. I'll probably always present female with an avatar line, and it gives me a kind of happiness that doesn't require much. So that's great. I'm now comfortable, and I hope that everyone who struggles and suffers with gender dysphoria finds comfort. I wouldn't ask any less. I don't care what side of politics a person's on. I don't care what side of the world a person's on. I want them to, and I wish them the best. I want them to find their happiness. I want them to fight their happy medium, if you will, if that's what it takes. Um, but the struggle is real, and it's amazing. And uh, God bless anyone who has this struggle. Um, I hope they get the help they need, and I hope that and for those who it works for, I pray you a smooth transition, and and know that you have an ally in me, and that is a for sure. And I will love and accept you and respect you, and and let's work from there if we can, all of us.